but they've got such a wealth of riches, and I much prefer this balance of the Scottish side. There is one change to the Scottish team today that experienced Scottish all-rounder. Well, really, wherever Scotland go, they bring the weather. They remarkably didn't just have a game washed out in the UAE, they had a national emergency declared as floods across the country. Straight through, and it's a beauty. It just held its line, and Karen Casey strikes in the very first over. Oh, what a beautiful delivery.
Yeah, you can see it starting to almost plant itself in some kind of a landscape. Again, not going to be in the Big Four in the next year or two, but just getting on CBS Sports or finding their way into mainstream media.
Got him. And it's Cammy that gets past Umid, the player of the match from 4 days ago, is being cleaned up. It's a simple old game. You hit the top of off stump, you can't go too wrong, and that's exactly what Cammy's just done.
Over the first time in Grand Prairie, Andrew Mead's been dismissed. Wasn't out in the practice match they had.
The circle at mid-wicket, and it's a boundary. Really good stroke.
Yeah, really nice. And I think it's just the width on offer from Sandeep Thamashana on this occasion. The other two very defensive because very close to off stump. This time gave him the license to just free the hands. No deep mid-wicket. Safe stroke in the end.
Googly out of the back of the hand. This is really close. This is gone. And look at the celebrations. I can't remember seeing Sandeep Lamachani as pumped up as that. And what a delivery. It was the perfect googly. He says to McMullen, you'll get me for one, you won't get me for two. The slog sweep was to the leg break. This out of the back of the hand, skids on. The question was, did it impact in line?
I reckon it did. I don't think he got far enough across his stumps. And again, that's what the drift does. The googly, it just skidded through. It was cool.
Game. Jones is put down. But now, is he gone? Oh, yes, he is. And it's an excellent catch. So well judged by Rohit Powdell. It only cost 4 runs, the drop from Aminil Shah, and he will almost celebrate more than anyone in that Nepal side. Jones gets a life, and then he gives it away.
Yeah, you can almost sense there was a bit of frustration coming on to Jones there. He just felt that he was looking to score runs, score him in a hurry, felt that this session had to belong to Scotland. And he picked RF Sheikh as the man he wanted to take on. He just threw all of his hands at it. This one nipped away. Got at the toe end of the bat. No real power. And Rohit Powdell has a knack of backpedaling to the ball. That's not the typical way you want to do it, but he's so quick. He gets his head in and groove. That's way more interesting to watch than maybe a franchise league where you win, you lose, you don't have any connections to. That's away. It's kind of just propped up out of nowhere. You might have like one player or two, but you're not really invested with your heart and soul.
Cut away and taken. Arif Sheikh throws the ball miles into the air because he's taken a fine catch, and it's the big one. It's Richie Berrington, who's a strong cutter of the ball, but he's tried to cut that maybe a little bit too close to his body, and all he could do was pick out Arif Sheikh, who takes a wonderful low catch. Nepal, they've got 5.
I don't think Richie Berrington will look back and be too pleased with how he's gone out there. Again, it wasn't real threatening of a delivery. There's slightward movement back in off a length from Gulshan Jah, so it is coming back into Berrington. I think you're right. He's just cut too close to the body. Wasn't able to get it behind square the way he was looking to do so. You take a look, and again, it's just slightly angled in, and that's the real difference of why he couldn't get it behind square, couldn't get over the ball. And a tremendous take from Arif Sheikh. He kept the hands very low, fingers down, above the toe. Yeah, 100%. Again, it's so difficult because you're not able to just guide your wrist straight down. Your wrist has to come over top of the ball, fighting you, as you mentioned, and they just create those moments. Rashid Khan is one of the best bowlers in the world, T20 bowlers. He's such a hot commodity.
This time, and slowly, ever so slowly, the finger goes up. It's so slow. It took an age to go up, and Leask, well, he is not happy with the decision. One little. Now this looks close. This looks really good to me, and it's given. Cross doesn't like it. I'm not sure why. It looked like the leg break to me. It's the drift that's done the damage. Another marvellous bowling change.
And to expect a lot from their team, really great things. They just almost anticipate wins all the time. It's hard to look at the game in the bigger picture, look at things holistically. And there you go. There's the wicket. A holistic view of Gulshan Jah's innings will show you he's much more consistent. He's pitched it up.
No, they didn't get the result they wanted. I know wrongly, Gulshan Jha was vilified for his role at the very, very death. I love the fact he's bounced back so strongly since. As this is edged and gone. Look what happens when you trust your leg break, Aman. Isn't it a funny old game? It's a sharp catch from Ari Sheikh for a slip. It's the perfect leg break. It's a beautiful piece of bowling. Sandeep Lamichhane has 3.
Yeah, just go out there and bowl your best stuff. That momentum we've talked about headed in to that second innings.
And he's been cleaned up. And a clap of the hands, almost a bit of anger and frustration from Sampal Kami. Not pleased with those 2 sixes that he was hit for. The middle stump has been rocked back. And Scotland, maybe the premier associate side in the world, they've been rolled out in helpful bowling conditions, yes, but a real